Sydney is only for the rich. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and I want to have a look at this article from news.com.au written by Jason Murphy. Well, just highlighting the differences in house prices throughout Australia and how Sydney is going insane. Let's bring up the SQM data. We can see here, this is the capital cities all together, and I'll just refresh this page so we can see it here. And there, the capital cities, all houses, 1.1 million, 3-bedroom, $1 million bucks and change. But if we dive into Sydney, everyone, Sydney we can see 1.7 million for all houses and 1.5 million for a 3-bedder. And if you look at some of these houses that are going for insane amounts of money, they're just, I mean, no offense, they're shitty speckies, guys. They're nothing special, okay? They're not mansions. So, yeah, anyway, times are changing, I guess. Times are certainly changing. So let's look at this one. Australian house price rises are famous. The rapid escalation in the cost of owning your own home is familiar to all of us, but the pace of change is different in different parts of the country, and that is bending the whole nation out of shape. It's changing now. Well, it's exacerbating the class divide in Australia. Basically, if you want to move to Sydney, you're out of luck. Prices in Sydney have shot up far ahead the rest of the country, as the next graph shows. Look at the line for Perth. Sydney and Perth prices were once equal. Now Sydney costs almost three times what Perth does. Well, they're different places. Of course, Sydney is a big place. Not all parts of it are equally expensive, but the price rises in Sydney mean that if you move there, you'll almost certainly be living in the worst part of the city than where you're living now, or in a worse part than where you're living now. The next chart shows that the relative price of a house in Bondi, New South Wales, to one in Sabaco, WA. The exchange rate was about 1-to-1 in 2007. Now you need to sell more than 2 houses in WA to buy one in Bondi. All of Perth has been depressed. For most of the past 30 years, if you sold a place in the beautiful Perth seaside suburb of Cotslow, you could buy a house in a beautiful seaside suburb on the other side of the country called Bondi. Now that Cotslow mansion will only buy you a fraction of a house in Bondi, although you can still swap it for a house in Glebe in Sydney's inner city. Let's move away from the posh parts of Sydney and Perth. We can see the same thing happening in Brisbane and Melbourne. The exchange rate between Broadmeadows, Victoria, and Logan, Queensland, used to be 1-to-1. Logan ain't the best. Logan isn't Brisbane, guys. It's near Brisbane, but it's a different city. Anyway, you can sell your place in Melbourne's north and move to Brisbane's west. A perfect match. Now the Logan to Broadmeadows exchange rate has collapsed, as you can see in the next graph below. If you sell your joint in Broadmeadows, you can buy 1.5 places in Logan, or you can buy the house and a couple of fully tricked out Ford Rangers. Probably fit in perfectly well there in Logan. What does it mean? What's supply and demand? Do you want to move to Logan? It means homeowners in the richest cities of the country have a lot of options the rest of us don't have. You might own a crappy terrace in South Sydney under the flight path, but you could easily move to a real nice part of Adelaide. In Sydney, it's $1 million for mould, while in Adelaide, it's $1 million for a stone house with driveway and picket fence. In Glebe, New South Wales, in Glenegg, South Australia, exchange rate was once in favour of Glenegg, but in recent years it has blown the other way. The consequence of the price difference is that if you start somewhere expensive, you can move up in the world by changing city. A slum in Sydney can be swapped for a palace in Perth. The reverse is not true. If you live in Brisbane and get a job offer in Sydney, the job offer better be pretty good because you won't be able to afford the same standard of housing. If you want the same amount of bedrooms or the same amount of lawn, get ready for a long commute. And, well, yeah, that's quite true. Nothing really to argue about with it. With that, is it really, guys? We've been seeing that all, just with the insane house prices. Are you at all surprised, guys? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and check out this video about the CBA reducing savings rates. Yeah, there you go. I know the mortgages are going up, so you'd think savings would go up. Nah, that's That's not how it happens, guys. Savings rates are going down. We can't have you actually earning more than inflation. I'll see you next time.